Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. If it's your first time being here, thanks for listening. If you're a returning listener, thanks for coming back. We are checking in for the second Aquarius full moon. Look at you. Second Aquarius full moon that we're having here this upcoming weekend. It's not common to have a second full moon in any sign, so it is a special little portal. And let's get started with your tarot reading. What's coming in for this full moon? Justice. Justice, Gemini. A couple of different things came through. So I could hear her. She's got this staff here. I could hear her like in like a stone, like on a stone floor, like a courtroom kind of deal. So there's definitely like something coming to order. Something's coming to order. And then I was sitting there and it was mentioning how the scales are a sign for Libra. So there could be something to do with Libra. Either you got Libra in your chart or there's a person in your life that's Libra. But the scales then also in a way kind of reflect the concepts of Gemini, how they've got the twins and you have to balance two sides of things, right? There's something coming to order. You're getting some order and structure coming in with this full moon. That's all it's really giving me off of that. Let's expand. Four of Swords. I mean, this is like a jail cell. So that's what I'm saying. There's something here about court and jail. So this doesn't have to mean someone's going to jail, you're going to jail, anybody's in jail, unless that resonates with you guys. But there is something here about somebody suffering in that kind of sense of being imprisoned, being locked in or locked out. It feels like locked up. Either in their mind or just feeling caged in a sense. I've already had this card come out for Pisces, I think. So it's not just you. Like, this has been out. This card's been out too. Just like, it's just not restful or pleasant in this space. A Four of Swords is traditionally, you know, kind of more about meditation and rest and relaxation and peace in that way. This Four of Swords in this deck is anything but that energy. It's more about your impending doom and all the that happens in between when you're like waiting for that moment, right? When they put you in the jail cell and you're waiting on your sentence. When they put you in the jail cell and you're waiting on the final day, right? That's the stress it's pointing out is coming through with this Four of Swords. So there's something very impending. You're feeling blocked and challenged in that way. So justice and order is coming, and it's either going to set you free or there's kind of this judgment moment about this. Like, if you are this energy Gemini, then there's a moment coming up for that. If not, then this is just like there's some order and structure coming to your mind, or getting a little more peace, I would say. What's this? It gave me Come Sail Away from that band Styx. This arm reaching out for this, it really does want to come sail away, right? Like, it wants to, that's the whole thing. There's some stress here, maybe about some travel, maybe about Six of Swords is always the movement of your mind. You're trying to get your mind moving. You're trying to make some progress in this way. You're trying to get going. And it might feel like you're imprisoned and you're stuck here. What I think is happening, Gemini, is I think you're currently this energy. I think what you're receiving for the full moon is this Justice card where things get balanced and everything comes into order and everything's fine. I do think that then you move to this energy where it's like the invitation, because that's the whole thing. Is the song is about, it actually says something about like a spaceman comes down and says, come sail away, right? It's like I think that you're worried that you're going to be stuck here. I think the balance comes through and you get the invite and you get to come sail away. So whether that's just sailing away from your stress, sailing away for some peace, getting to take a small day trip, getting to go somewhere, something like that, everything comes into order and gets balanced for you. And I think this is just what's buried underneath. And so it's like you're feeling like this right now. This is what comes through on the full moon. You get to go sail away. I'm going to put that song on the playlist just because the lyrics are actually really cool and significantly spiritual. So that's a great song. I love that song. What else? What else? Hang on, so they're shuffling. All right, so pick one. Look at that World card coming out there. It just said, this completes you. This makes you feel whole. This makes you feel complete. This is a wrap up of a cycle, but that's the thing, is you were afraid you were getting stuck here, and this energy, the full moon, brings that justice and brings everything to balance and order. You get the invite, come sail away, and that is kind of where it's like you get to go explore the world. It's mentioning how, you see the circle here? It's mentioning how people would sail west, right, and would end up over in the east. So it's kind of, there's some, it's like, it is kind of saying something about like having to like, what does it say? What's the phrase? Go around your ass to get to your elbow or something like that, or vice versa. It's like, it's talking about that, like you might have to, it might feel like you had to basically go around the world to get to this point, or you had to, I don't know. It's just very much pointing that out, that what feels like it's moving backwards is actually moving forwards. What felt like imprisonment gets to flow, and water is the energy of the West, and that is kind of what it's mentioning here too. So you might want to tap into that water energy, Gemini. That might be what you need instead of the swords energy here, which is that mental energy, right? It said hydrate, like you need to maybe hydrate. Water helps all of your spiritual energy flow so much better. It helps your mind, helps your body, helps you feel good. Like water in general is a staple of anything outside of spiritual practice, and it helps with spiritual work too and your energy. So you might literally need to be drinking some water. You are like all up in a tizzy right here. I think everything's fine. Tap into that water energy and like flow with life a little bit instead of stressing so much. You get to sail like around the world to this major completion energy. And I would say this figure very much looks like this one. Look, this one's lounging and relaxing, got it made in the shade, feeling good, is protected. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you come out just feeling really nice at the end of this because you just feel like, oh, just like what this guy's hands are doing. Oh, right? Magnificent, it just said, magnificent. And with this yellow here, that's your solar plexus chakra, especially. That's what I mean. It makes you feel confident. It makes you feel great. It feels like the wrap up of a great cycle. You learned a lesson about not stressing out so much, because if you believe and you connect with the right energies, right, like the universe is going to set everything in order. It just said like karmic justice, or you can just say good karma. Like if you deserve something good, if you deserve to take a trip, go on something like that, then you'll get that invite. And you have to believe that You got to let your mind flow a lot more and not try and, like I said, confine yourself or define yourself before. And it's saying define yourself because of the fact that, like, if you were in a court system and you're waiting to be judged, right, you don't want to necessarily define yourself as anything until you kind of hear what the statement is, what the stuff is, right? So it's just saying don't confine or define yourself yet. Let the universe put everything in order. It's going to be just fine. It might feel like it took a long way around the world or you just went backwards or something, but you're going to feel really great after this full moon. Anything else want to come out for the Gemini reading for this full moon? Boy, this Four of Pentacles been everywhere. You might be concerned about a little bit of money, or you might be on your way to go pick up some money with the ship going as well. That might be why you had to go around the world a little bit, because maybe you were waiting on some certain resources, or you got to go pick up some stuff. I'm talking about water, right? Like, you got to have rations on your boat when you're traveling around the world. So that's part of it, is like, you might need some money, you might need some supplies, you might need something to do all of this. It's on your mind. That's another 4 over here, right? It's another 4. It's another stress factor. There's a 4-4 message here. You need to be much more positive. Everything's fine. Like, you are putting a lot of stress on this situation by being so concerned about the money, being so concerned about how people are maybe defining you, or are you going to get this invite? Are you going to get to do this movement? Get away from the stress. You got to get away from the stress. So you might need to, I don't know, put in an extra shift or go collect something to complete whatever this is. You get to that World card over here and you get that completion. She just feels really big and mighty, just like this figure here. So I'm really seeing this figure as not only a figurative world that is protecting you and granting you blessings, but it feels like a real person, a mom figure or a woman in your life. Someone that was really supporting and encouraging you and helps provide abundance. And it's like, remember all the people that always were traveling overseas and exploring new worlds and everything, right? It's always usually for like a queen or a king or something. It's kind of like going to collect all that money and riches to bring back to somebody. I don't think you're like a colonizer or anything, Gemini, right? Like, look at me, white as hell. But I'm just saying, it's giving you that kind of symbolism and references in your tarot reading here, but obviously unless you're literally getting on a ship and going off to conquer some new world and do that, it's just talking about symbolically. Like, there's someone, I'm getting the sense there's somebody here that you maybe owe a thank you to, or maybe you owe a little bit of money and you've been really stressed out about it. Somebody that was really supporting you, protecting you, sheltering you, pulling a lot of favors in for you. And right, that's what I mean. Like, these feminine figures over here are really big and strong. There's someone that's been very much kind of supporting you, sheltering you, and trying to be fair and listen and be very abundant. And you've been really stressed about it though, because I think that I said something about, you're like, right, it's just like a lot of pressure. It's a lot of stress sometimes. And you get worried about who you are, and you start doubting yourselves, and you start stressing over resources and money and things like that. You got to, like, let some of that go. Let the mind flow. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to get the invite. Boom. You feel great. You feel wonderful. You're like, oh. And I think that a little bit of that comes with the idea of praise. And I think it just means, like, showing thanks to this Empress. And then that's the whole thing, is then you feel very creative and abundant yourself because you're just feeling good. Like, you've let go of that stress and everything. That's what I mean. It's just, you come out feeling really like awesome over here after the full moon energy comes through. So I think it's good to go, Gemini. Let that stress go. Let that stress go. You got it. Okay. It just said, good job. Something said, good job. So there you go. Good job, Gemini. That's what I got for you. Let me know how that resonates, you guys. Happy full moon. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.